I don't know that we can't just approve it, provide the price and expect to meet. We seem to have problems meeting. That's what happened last time. We got the truck approved, and here, and ready to go, but we just never met. And the same thing can go on again, and I think, the need for the truck is there. We have approved it before. I don't see anything with giving them the go-ahead to go along with it as long as it meets the same criteria and in the same price range. If they can't find one in the same price range, obviously they're gonna have to come back to the board.
All right, this is money that's gonna be spent out of the electrical budget, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Ms. Jackson?
Well, we had
It's a
discussed-
capital improvement.
It's a capital improvement out
It's
of
not a
the,
budget.
it's an item.
It's not a budget. It's not in the yearly budget. It's a capital expenditure.
Okay, so we set aside a separate budget for capital improvement.
Well, we had talked about self-financing it through reserves and the budget.
Okay, so the electrical department's gonna pay the payment on this.
Right.
And the cost of it that we had thought about or talked about before was about $115,000 to $125,000. In that range, wasn't that what it was?
Well, that particular truck was 113.
It was $113,000, and that was a real good deal.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you, when we approved the, budget, and we talked about the electrical budget, I remember, Mr. Dobson, that you said that the electrical budget was running $100,000 in the red.
That is true.
And we're using $113,000 out of that budget in order to buy a bucket truck.
No, we're using it out of our reserve account
Oh, okay.
to buy the bucket truck.
Okay.
What you're driving at is exactly why you can't operate a account in the red for long, which is the point. We've got to get that electric department balanced, because you have to buy, let me finish, since you're trying to make the point.
No, because you trying to stop me.
No, sir, no, sir.
You
No,
interrupted
sir.
me when I'm making a point.
Well, you gonna
Just let
finish?
me
Are you
finish.
gonna finish?
I
And
am
then I'll
gonna finish, then I'll let you speak.
You go ahead and finish.
That's what we do here.
You go ahead.
Well, after I finish, then you speak.
You go ahead.
All right, so, when you said that, it's still money that's gonna come from the electrical budget. And, you know, you say that we need a truck, we have two. We have two bucket trucks right now. And, you know, from what I'm hearing, and I don't know, that, that's insufficient. We would get rid of one. I think that was what we said we would do, would be, we would get rid of one of the older one or whatever, and then we still have two bucket trucks. Now, we've been using the bucket truck also to fight fires, and I think that needs to stop immediately, because that's against the law. And I'm putting it in the minutes, I'm discussing it, so it'll be there for later on when somebody says that I didn't say that. And I don't know how much usage we've gotten out of using a bucket truck for that, but that's not what it's for. And, but getting back to that, that's money is coming out of that budget regardless of, you say it's coming out of there, maybe a small amount a year. But it's still coming out of that budget. You said before that it was in the red, and it was operating in the red, which it doesn't need to do, which it shouldn't do. But the principle of you buying a bucket truck and running that in the red is what we're doing. And that's the same thing they do in Washington and other places. They move money around like that and say that. And that's why we're where we are.
Okay.
But now you can say what you want to say, Mr. Dobson, but I just want to make the point.
Okay. To run any department, it takes a certain amount of equipment to run the department. You can't run the department without the things that you need to take care of business. The two bucket trucks are needed. I asked a question why we needed to and was told there were certain jobs that are performed that require 2 bucket trucks to perform the one job. As well as if you have an emergency, there are times in the past, we've not had one in quite a while, thank goodness, where you need 2 bucket trucks in different spots. But the main purpose, as I was told, was the jobs that we have on a regular basis that require 2 trucks to perform the job. The truck that we're getting rid of, again, asked that question too. That truck is out of spec enough that to rebuild the truck back up to get it within spec would be outrageously expensive compared to purchasing